Hello, everyone. The Gamecocks are in Alabama to face the 7th-ranked Crimson Tide. Kickoff time is high noon in Tuscaloosa. Carolina needs to put a little more punch in their offense if they want to upset Bama. Carolina failed to score a touchdown in their 27-3 loss to Ole Miss last weekend. They racked up over 313 yards total offense, but couldn't finish off drives. They were 5 of 16 on 3rd down and 1 of 4 on 4th down. They made it to the red zone 3 times, but only managed to score 3 points. Here's offensive coordinator Dow Loggins on USC's struggles.
We didn't execute the way we need to execute. We didn't coach the way we need to coach. There was some good, and I don't know if you find good in losing, but you have to look at all aspects of it. You know, we crossed the 50-yard line 7 times. We didn't finish in the red area the way we needed to. It was definitely a game where we were going to try to shrink the game a little bit and go for it on some 4th downs. And so you start looking at what didn't work. I think we were 1 of 5 on 3rd down runs that didn't, we were trying to put it more in 4th and manageable and go for it. And we weren't explosive enough in the passing game. I think we had 2 explosive passes. It's a hard formula to win no matter how efficient you are in the run game.
While the Gamecocks are looking to bounce back, so too is Alabama. And talk about catching a team at a bad time. South Carolina will be facing an Alabama squad coming off an embarrassing upset loss to Vanderbilt 40-35. The Commodores from year to year are the worst team in the SEC. What makes the loss sting even more for Alabama, the loss to Vandy came 1 week after Bama beat Georgia. That victory lifted them to #1 in the polls. So today, the Crimson Tide will be looking to reclaim their mojo, and the Gamecocks just happen to be standing in the way.
Probably one of the nice things about having a Sunday where we get together is, we get to move on. Outside of the building, the game gets held on to for not a day, probably not a week. For some people, you hold on to it for the rest of your life. But for these guys, they don't get the choice, and we as a staff and them together have to move on, understanding where we got to get better. We know we're a work in progress, not a finished product by any means, and that showed up on Saturday.
The Gamecocks in Alabama get underway at noon today. Enjoy the game and have a great weekend. I'm Rick Henry.